Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It is your guy, Boulanger. Up next on the GM, who is Dayton Wade? Let's talk. Dayton Wade is a wide receiver that I put on my players to watch in preseason game number 2. And I put him on my player to watch list simply because he's a guy who gained a little bit of notoriety in offseason workouts. He's a guy who showed up in training camp and sounds like he kept his head down and he just kept grinding. He kept showing up in practices. He showed up in game number 1, being the wide receiver to lead the Ravens in week 1 preseason. Then he turns around and he is the leading receiver, making a big play in yesterday's preseason game against the Atlanta Falcons. And so he just keeps putting his name and his play in front of the coaching staff. And so they're going to have to take notice of this guy. They're going to have to make a decision on whether they keep him or they let him go. So who is this guy? Well, Dayton Wade is a 5'9", roughly 180-pound wide receiver out of Ole Miss. And if you were to pull his stats from Ole Miss, they're not going to be eye-popping. They're not going to be off the charts by any means. He in his career, he's a red shirt senior coming out of college. He played in 7 games, I believe, in 2020. He played in 13 games in 2021 and 6 games in 2023. And I may have that a little bit off, but nevertheless, he probably has 400 yards at the most in a season. But when you turn his tape on, and we will turn his tape on here in a couple of minutes, when you turn his tape on, he just makes plays. He presents himself as a number 1 type wide receiver, not really coming out of the slot. In fact, he's really playing outside the numbers, so to speak. He's really playing on the boundary, and he just makes plays. And that's what he's done for the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens at wide receiver probably have some locks for sure. Zay, Bate, Aguilar, and I would say Devontae Walker is a lock just because of where they drafted him, although he hasn't done much in this offseason. But then here comes Wade, right? Wade is kind of pushing for that 5th or 6th wide receiver spot, along with like a Tylan Wallace. But he has been the go-to guy when a play, is needing to be made. He's much faster on tape than he is uh, measured by his 40 time. He ran a 4.5 40, and for a guy his size, 5'9", only running a 4.5, that seems to be pretty slow. But again, when you put the film on, he looks much faster than that. In fact, let's put the film on from college and look at a couple of plays, and then we'll come back with some commentary.
Downs in the opener. Dart another play action pass, long throw, caught, and a broken tackle inside the 30.
Terrific teammate. But Jackson starts, and that's why, because he throws in stride to Wade, and look at Wade put on the afterburners. First and goal. Dart looking in zone. Caught on the edge. And Judkins doing what he does best, man.
2 4th-down conversions. Play fake the Dart. Has the receiver wide open. Touchdown.
Play action, taking the shot down the sideline, back shoulder throw. Dayton Wade.
Play action. Look at the time Dart has as he connects to an absolute ball to Judkins here on this drive. And it's a pitch to Dayton Wade on the jet sweep. That'll go down as a
Play action. Dart. He wants the deep shot. Wide open in the end zone. Hauling it in. Dayton.
Certainly going to go for it.
Wide open. Dayton Wade. Weighs a buck 86 and Pettis goes 360. I think he felt it. Up Dart down the sideline. Open. Caught. And screens are split out wide. Dart going deep. Beautiful pass, and it is on the money. What a grab by Dayton Wade. The rest of the game.
Play fake. Sanders launches far sidelines. A battle for the football. He come down like that play last week by Joe Milton at Tennessee.
Dart, sideline ball. Good one to Wade. Good move.
So just as I told you, when you put the tape on and you look at his ability, in the highlights we saw, he's running away from defenders. He is a good route runner, really good hands, and he just seems to get open against cornerbacks for sure. And so can he make this roster? Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I know that he's been the only wide receiver really to stand out above the rest. He's definitely separating himself from some of the guys he could have been in contention with. And he puts me in the mind of a guy that the Baltimore Ravens had many years ago named DeAndre Carter. If you guys have been around long enough as a Ravens fan, you guys kind of remember DeAndre Carter, a small guy. He wasn't super fast according to a 40 time, but when you get him on the field, he just seems to get open, seems to separate, and you kind of saw that from DeAndre Carter when he played for the San Diego Chargers turned LA Chargers. He just made catches, and Dayton Wade has that very similar skill set, similar build, similar athleticism, and of course the Baltimore Ravens let DeAndre Carter get out the door, and I wonder would they make a different decision with Wade. But let's look at his play from Saturday night and see if it looks similar to any of the highlights we just saw.
Seeing the guy they used to look up to, now they get to play with him.
Jones on first down. Good protection. Going deep. Got a man open. He's got him at the 15 and in for the touchdown. Dayton Wade. And nobody happier to see the long ball than Lamar Jackson. As Emory Jones goes up top for a 56-yard touchdown throw.
Move, great throw, easy catch.
But as you mentioned, maybe the hardest catch in football is when you're that wide open.
Yep, just like I thought. It looks very, very similar to the tape we saw from his college highlights. And so, again, I understand that he's playing against second and third stringers, but if you're playing against second and third stringers, such as yourself, you're supposed to show up, and he has certainly done that. And so, I believe Dayton Wade has an opportunity to make this roster. And so I want to hear back from you guys. Do you guys think that he is the leading candidate right now for that sixth spot? If we given Talon Wallace the fifth spot, is Wade the sixth wide receiver, kind of ahead of Kirkwood and some of the other guys, Sean Ryan and those guys? Let me know what you guys want me to know, man, about Dayton Wade. Do you believe in him? Do you think they should give him a shot, or do you think that we should look into the free agent market after cut downs? I'm your guy Boulanger. This is the GM. We're out.